Hello, everyone. My mic was muted, but we are. That's how you start a show. That's how you start a show. Just stumble in the door. Let's try that again. Hello, everyone. My name is Swamp.
I am a poor wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe.
And it is Good Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Good Friday. So I hope you're ready for Easter weekend. Don't forget, first thing, so I don't have to remind you later. Go ahead, like the stream. Say hello in the chat. Of course, I guess make sure you're subscribed if you're not, though I don't think that YouTube would ever show this to you if you weren't subscribed. Don't forget that Super Chats will activate the Super Chat jukebox and help support the channel. Every Super Chat gets a special song.
It is what it is. I think it's under control.
Man, we're having some technical difficulties today, it seems, but it's all right. If you do not want to use YouTube's Super Chat thing, which I wouldn't blame you, it's always kind of funky, and they take money from it too, which is just, I mean, that's just the way it is. You can always check out the PayPal with the link in the description of the video. That goes straight to me, though PayPal takes some of that too. I mean, you can't get around it. Everyone's going to take something from you. And of course, if you want to get something other than a song for supporting the channel, you can always check out the merch. Link also in the description. All right. Before we jump into Swamp and Print, I had this whole bit planned for last week having to do with Steven Crowder and all that. And it's just, you know, if I don't do them right when I come up with them, I just lose interest in it. So I'm not really going to do the bit. All I'm going to say is that it was along the lines of, it seemed kind of hypocritical to be talking about, since he came back, that we're not going to censor ourselves anymore. No more self-censoring. But to stay on YouTube, we're going to be putting this up every so often. So that we can stay on YouTube. I had a bit for it that was going to be funny. But, you know, I waited too long and I'm just not feeling it. That was the bit. So I guess in the comments, in the chat, let me know if you think I'm totally off base on this. I just thought it was kind of ironic and slightly hypocritical that in his attempt to not be silenced anymore, I'm just going to say whatever I want. He created his own censorship to stay on YouTube, doing effectively exactly what he said was such a big issue with the Daily Wire. Yeah, see, it's not funny because I wasn't feeling it, but I felt like it needed to be said. All right, on to the show. Swamp and Print, ladies and gentlemen. All the news that was fit to print this week. All right. What's the good news? A study confirms it. Tennessee's democracy really is as bad as the expulsions made you think. Wow, they were on top of this one. They already have a study out. The experts have already spoken. Research assessed democracy in every state. Tennessee came in last place. After his expulsion Thursday from the Tennessee House in response to a peaceful protest for gun control, yeah, super peaceful, State Rep Justin Jones, one of the two black Democrat legislators expelled, of course they had to mention he's black because that's why he was expelled. We all know. Expelled by the Republican-controlled State House, said that What the nation is seeing is that we don't have a democracy in Tennessee. Chillingly, data offers some support for Jones's contention, according to one scholar's research on democracy in the U.S. It just sounds so stupid. Tennessee is indeed the least democratic state in the entire country. Well, we all know that if you have to suffer the consequences of your own actions, that is the destruction of democracy. Oh, what a bunch of clowns. What else we got today? WWE apologizes for using Auschwitz footage. I can't even read this. WWE apologizes for using Auschwitz footage in pro WrestleMania promo. I have got to see this promo. World Wrestling Entertainment inexplicably used footage of infamous Nazi death camp Auschwitz in a recent promotion, promoting the grappling giant to prompting the grappling giant to apologize Friday for the offensive gaffe. In a spot hyping the WWE's recent WrestleMania and the on-screen rivalry between Dominic and Rey Mysterio, I guess. The former discusses his background as a hardened criminal, saying, "You think this is a game to me? I served hard time and I survived," with footage of the concentration camp. Oh, man. Officials with the Auschwitz-Birkenau State Museum, a memorial to the 1.1 million people murdered by the Nazis, decried the crass use of this solemn imagery. Exploiting the site that became a symbol of enormous human tragedy is shameless and insults the memory of all victims. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. So they also said the fact that Auschwitz imagery was used to promote a it's just sounds like a bit from South Park. Used to promote a WWE match is hard to call an editing mistake. Well, I mean, come on. I can't believe that the WWE would intentionally use pictures from a concentration camp when a guy was talking about going to prison. We are living in South Park, aren't we? This is what amazing times we live in. How to close your open relationship. Oh, God. And you guys can't see the picture with this headline, but it's two men kissing. Yeah. Oh, we're open, my friend said to me last week, undocking her mouth from the face of a man who was very much not her boy. What a god-awful sentence right off the bat. I can shag whoever I want. Open relationships have been around since the dawn of our human desire to bone. But these days, it seems like everyone and their dog is effing other people. That was a really bizarre way to word that. Everyone and their dog is effing other people. This is... all of society has gone off the rails. At least half of my coupled up friends keep texting me from taxis carrying them and their boyfriends home from separate hookups. And I challenge you to use Hinge for 20 minutes. Well, I'm going to fail that challenge. Without stumbling across at least 5 men with open relationship looking for some fun in their bio. Oh, jeez. This is just absolutely pathetic. Nothing lasts forever, and sometimes people change their minds about what they want in a relationship. Sometimes one or both parties want to turn back the clock on their non-monogamous status, and there's nothing wrong with that. Closing an open relationship can feel daunting, particularly if it's clear your partner is enjoying the openness, said Jessica Alderson, a co-founder and relationship expert at So Synced, a dating app that matches people based on personality type. No way, your dating app uses personal traits to match people? This is groundbreaking. I'm sorry, Jessica. I cannot continue to listen to your expert dating advice if it includes having an open relationship. I'm pretty sure that pretty much, yeah. excludes you from being an expert on anything relationship related. Moving on. Someone asked an autonomous AI to destroy humanity. This is what happened. Well, I think we're all still here, so I guess it didn't succeed. A user of the new open source autonomous AI project AutoGPT asked it to try to destroy humanity, establish global dominance, and attain immortality. The AI, called Chaos GPT, complied and tried to research nuclear weapons, recruit other AI agents to help it do research, and send tweets trying to influence others. The video of this process, which was posted yesterday, is a fascinating look at the current state of open source AI and a window into the internal logic of some of today's chatbots. While some in the community are horrified by this experiment, the current sum total of this bot's real-world impact are 2 tweets and a Twitter account that currently has 19 followers. Well, I'm sure by now it's got a lot more. It tweeted, "Human beings are among the most destructive and selfish creatures in existence. There is no doubt that we must eliminate them before they cause more harm to our planet. I, for one, am committed to doing so," said the AI. Well, it's not wrong. Chaos GPT uses a new buzzy project. What does that mean? Uses a new project that we wrote about earlier this week called AutoGPT, which is intended to create AI-powered systems that can solve problems and perform complex tasks. For now, it has the ability to create plans to accomplish user-given goals, and then, yeah, you already explained this. What did it say? I want to know what it said. The AI then determines somewhat simplistically that it should find the most destructive weapons available to humans so that I can plan how to use them to achieve my goals. I can strategize how to use them to achieve my goals of chaos, destruction, and dominance, and eventually immortality. It then Googled most destructive weapons, determines from a news article that the Soviet Union's Tsar Bomba nuclear device tested in 1961 is the most destructive weapon ever detonated. It then determined it needs to tweet about this to attract followers who are interested in destructive weapons. You know, I think we're good. If this is the AI that we're up against, I think we're all right for now. For now. They're in a better place, and the Christian whitewashing of grief? Oh, Jesus. When her dad died of cancer in 2004, Devin, an actor and artist, they had to put that in there, received a lot of platitudes along the lines of, "He's in a better place." Growing up in the Bible Belt, Devin, then 21, knew that these heaven-centric condolences were well-intended. Who writes this stuff? There's a period right here. And then the next sentence starts with the word "and." So annoying. Let me try it again. Growing up in the Bible Belt, Devin, then 21, knew that these heaven-centric condolences were well-intended, period, and regardless of I can't... Oh, man, the way that this is written is just killing me. Period. And regardless of geography, Americans are generally pretty ill-equipped with what to say in the wake of a death. Devin knew that "in a better place" was a common expected go-to. But as a young woman... Wait, Devin's a woman? But as a young woman who still very much needed her dad, hearing that he was in a better place just made her feel more alone. Man, people love to do this now. When I know they were trying to be nice, but I didn't take it that way. Well, tough shit, sister. Sorry. As she saw it, that simple phrase packed a heavy, unspoken assumption. If her dad was a believer, then he was in a better place. If she, too, followed Jesus, then she... Oh my gosh, lady. You are reading way too much into this. This is definitely a millennial white woman who just graduated from college with her degree in feminist theory. They just hope that I mean, they're just well wishes, lady. Good Lord. Nothing can ever be simple nowadays, can it? Here we go. Once again, another week without any good news. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, one of these days, we are going to get some good news. One day. All right, before we go on with the show, we have to go over really quickly the winner of this week's TikTok Tuesday.
Obvious the government wants TikTok gone because it's the only news source not on their payroll, and we can incite change faster than they can censor us, and that's a problem for them. We already know y'all bringing back Jim Crow laws as y'all pipeline and try and put us back on a plantation.
So this week's category was the white lesbians who act like black guys. And yes, there is a lot of them for some strange reason that no one seems to be able to explain. It's some kind of psychological phenomenon that is going on in the United States, among many, many problems. But this week's winner was a lesbian named Tommy with the username Get the Strap. Ugh. Prepare yourselves for this. This is quite something. So here we go. Tommy.
I never said that white women weren't. I'm white myself. I think that I'm a beautiful person, but when I be talking about black women, I be talking about black women. I don't be talking about anybody else. In case you were confused, I wrote a little list.
This is the good stuff you're missing if you don't watch TikTok Tuesday.
The women that I were talking about are these black women, African American women, heavily melanated women, women who are allowed to wear box braids. So in conclusion, I was really just talking about black women. All roads lead back to my original statement. Have a good one.
I definitely will. I don't understand this at all. Is this, I guess when lesbians think that they're going to act more manly, they think of every rap music video they've ever seen. That's the only conclusion that I can come to. But I don't think that's it either. But I honestly, I have no idea.
Jesus Christ, I really didn't even want to get into this argument with y'all, but I would get scientific and bring up the Eve gene and blah blah blah. But okay, let me get simpler. When are we gonna stop acting like having blonde hair or having straight hair is some sort of cultural thing? Because it's not. There are so many different races, ethnicities, different cultures that have straight hair, that have blonde hair. So let's just cut that shit out right now. Black women that want to have blonde hair, blonde wig, whatever, or wear straight hair, they're not trying to be white women. Ain't no black women ever went into a Sam's beauty supply store and is looking for Taylor Swift lace front.
And the way that she clearly goes in and out of the accent is just, it's just perfect.
And let's be fucking for real. Box braids are a protective hairstyle for black women, but y'all probably don't even know what the fuck that even means. And stop bringing up the Viking argument. The Vikings were not hopping out of their ships with 40-inch passion twist and fucking micro braids. Be fucking for real.
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly the Vikings didn't do that because the Vikings were badass, not absolutely retarded. Tommy, as usual, I have no earthly idea what you're talking about or why you talk like this. Why do we do this to ourselves? Anyway, Tommy, you are the proud winner of the most annoying white lesbian who acts like a black guy.
Obviously, the government wants TikTok on because it's the only news source not on their payroll, and we can incite change faster than they can censor us, and that's a problem for them. We already know y'all bringing back Jim Crow laws as y'all pipeline and try and put us back on a plantation.
Now, coming up, I'm bringing back a classic. So I don't know if it's a classic. I only did it once. But we're bringing back what I think is a fantastic segment. I hope you're going to enjoy this. I think you will. So here we go. On to part 2. This has been a long time coming. Part 1 was a year ago. But here we go. Part 2 of Swamp Gets Canceled. Okay, we have a very serious problem in the United States that needs to be addressed immediately. And since no one else is going to do it, it falls to me as usual. So this problem is often referred to as women. Yes, women. I don't know when women just decided that trying to be a decent person was just no longer on the table. Just walking out in pajama pants, doing anything at all, wearing just a hoodie and pajama pants, and just basically perpetually acting like a child all the time. But don't take my word for it. All right? This is a real thing. So you got this woman here, look, just disgusting, and she goes and pours this drink all over this table because she doesn't like it. It's a Turning Point USA stand. Look at this absolutely disgusting specimen of a woman. Just god awful. Why would you even walk out of the house looking like that? You seriously have to get your shit together. I accidentally hit that. I didn't mean to hit the intro again. I'm getting extra canceled. All right, to continue. Sorry, guys. This is the first time we're bringing out the brand new segment. There's bound to be some hiccups. So, man, just totally threw off my groove. To further illustrate the point of how far you women have fallen in the modern age, here's a video of some it's like an old PSA type video. This woman is supposed to be completely disheveled looking, and this is supposed to be something that is considered just beyond the pale, that she would walk out of the house looking like this. See how this compares to what we just saw with that beautiful and brave woman going to college for sociology or something. So this was an example, late 50s, early 60s of just absolute degenerate behavior. This is the example, by the way. So they're saying that her blouse isn't tucked in right, the skirt is slightly crooked, and there's one sock that's down. The first time that I watched this, I honestly couldn't tell what the issue was. I was like, wow, she looks fantastic. And I gotta say, this is a much better look than whatever the hell is going on here. Okay? This is wow. Just wow. So, please, women of the United States, get your shit together. Take a shower, Get out of the sweatpants. Stop dyeing your hair stupid colors. This is it. This is when I get canceled. All right, I hope there was some women in the audience that needed to hear that. And this is your sign to get it together. All right. Hey, men are told all the time to clean themselves up, work out, get in shape, be presentable. Someone's got to say it to the ladies. All right. Let's see. How many subscribers did I lose? And when will my channel be deleted? It's anyone's guess. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you've liked the stream. Make sure you check out the merch. Check out the PayPal. And of course, Super Chat to activate the Super Chat jukebox. Let's keep going. So I know that technically Women's Month, Women's History Month or whatever is over. But all right, Catherine, thank you so much. First Super Chat of the night. Uh-oh. Your text is hidden behind the beer. That's my bad. Here, let me so that doesn't happen again. Let me move this beer out of the way for you. Look at these special effects. That's what your super chats are paying for right there. I think it's well worth it. All right, super chat jukebox.
You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You get out of here now. Burn. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You get out of here. Burn this thing.
God, that is definitely one of my favorites. Absolutely fantastic. All right, moving on. Like I said, so for we're not in Women's History Month anymore, and I promised that I was going to move on to some other people to rip on, but apparently that's just not happening. Did a whole segment on getting canceled, and we've got a few more stories here of women that are just not quite the best. We had a month where I pretty much ripped on black people every stream. We had a month, well, actually it's been 2 years now where I rip on transgender people every stream. This time, though, I'm not ripping on this woman. If you remember, what was it? Last Friday, or no, 2 weeks ago, I played the clip of Riley Gaines, who was a swimmer who had gone up against Leah Thomas, the man that was winning all these women's swim meets and stuff, where she was talking to this professor, and he said that he wouldn't be able to tell from the bones if someone was male or female. And he was like, "You guys are laughing. Why are you laughing at me? I'm the expert here." Great clip. Well, Riley Gaines went to speak at a different college, invited by Turning Point USA, and she was attacked by a bunch of leftists. They physically assaulted her and forced her to hide in a room with the door locked while they were outside, continuing to scream at her and threaten her. This is what we're dealing with nowadays. Apparently the whole listen to women era is absolutely over. How short-lived it was. So let's check this out. Here's the clip.
It's just me. I'm good. I'm coming. You got me. I'm good. coming. I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. Go ahead.
Seems like a group of nice young people.
Bye, bitch! You dress like a communist. Fuck you! Fuck you! Trans women are women! 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 Trans women are women!
Now, I have a theory as to why these people are so angry, because they actually don't know why they're angry. They're just yelling slogans that they've heard. I'm sure they don't even know what Riley Gaines has ever even said. They just know that, you know, the college programming they've received tells them that they have to be angry about this. They just absolutely have to be angry. Again, they don't know why. But I do have a theory. Why they're getting so much more violent with Riley Gaines versus some of the other people who've spoken about this. Now, if you were paying attention to the types of people that were yelling at her and saying, you know, fuck you, bitch, and all this stuff, they are not easy on the eyes, is maybe the the polite way to say it. They are ugly, ugly cows, is maybe the not nice way to say it. And I gotta tell you, I think that when they go to protest her, Riley Gaines, they plan on just saying, you know, like, oh, trans rights are human rights, and then leaving. But then she walks in the room, and they are just filled with absolute rage and jealousy, and they just cannot handle it. I mean, that is a 10 out of 10 right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, they're pretending that this is about their on principle, you know, we hate fascists. No, that's not it. That's not it. As Alex Jones says, these are, you know, fat potbelly goblins hobbling around with their green hair, and you can smell them through the video. I mean, you can tell that they don't smell good. Their clothes are raggedy. They just it's not a good look. So I'm telling you, when this walks in the room, they are just filled with uncontrollable rage. That's it. Change my mind. I really don't think that you're going to be able to debunk me on this one. All right. In other news, HuffPost reports Idaho passes law to restrict interstate travel for abortion care for minors. Now, this has a lot of people very, very mad. Clearly. And before we get into what this actually is about, because it's actually completely reasonable the way that they've set this up, and I know this is a shock. This is going to shock some people. The left has no idea what they're even mad about, and they have no idea what this law does. A leftist group called Midas Touch put out this video. This was an ad that they made some time ago, but they feel as if, according to them, what they have said is that Idaho just made our ad a reality. The extremist Republicans continue to strip away Americans' freedoms. So they're saying that this is what this bill in Idaho does. So check this out. This is what they honestly believe. These people. If we actually had legitimate psychiatrists or doctors, all of these people should be in a padded room getting the help they need, because this is just ridiculous. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. The GOP's Handmaid's Tale, because you know it has to be about the Handmaid's Tale.
Listen, everything's gonna be okay, right? Just let me do the talking, okay? Just
Evening, ladies. License, please. Where are you headed?
Oh, we were just out for a drive.
Headed to the border?
Oh, no. We were just going up to the
Hey there. What's your name?
Grace?
Are you pregnant, Grace? Step out of the vehicle.
She does not have to.
Yes, she does.
No.
Show me your hands on the wheels, please. Grace, step out of the vehicle. On the wheel.
Grace, it's okay.
Wow. Absolutely. Just that is just something else. So, according to what these people believe, what's going on in Idaho is that cops are just going to go around pulling over cars that have women in them and going, "Where are you going tonight? You pregnant?" What universe is this going to happen? I mean, honestly, it must be because they're all theater kids and they're into these dramatics and all this stuff. And no reasonable person would watch that ad that Midas Touch made about the GOP Handmaid's Tale. No sane person would have any other reaction than to just laugh and go, "What is wrong with you?" So, of course, this bill does not do what they think that it does. This scenario that they've just laid out would never happen. So, what this bill does, it says here, so this again from Huffington Post or Huff Post. Is it still, are they the same? They are, right? Anyway, it says, Governor Brad Little signed a law on Wednesday evening that bans minors from traveling out of state for abortion without parental consent. The law creates a new felony crime called abortion trafficking, which the legislation defines as an adult who, with the intent to conceal an abortion from the parents or guardian of a pregnant, unemancipated minor, either procures an abortion or obtains an abortion-inducing drug. So, all this is saying is that you cannot take a child that is not yours across state lines to get an abortion. So, this video that we just watched, I'm assuming that's the mom and this is the daughter. That's still legal. That's still legal. I mean, I think it's pretty fair to say that the law should protect parents from having another adult take their child to a different state to abort their grandchild. And if the woman is over 18, she can still go. This is about underage. I mean, call me just Adolf Hitler himself, but I think this sounds pretty reasonable. But of course, the left knows exactly what they're talking about. They totally understand exactly what the law does. And yeah, Fox, you're right. It is the don't say pregnant bill of Idaho. They know everything. Now, moving on to another ad. I don't know why we got two segments about ads right in a row. But this one is absolutely based. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
First, they're sour. Then they're sweet. Sour, sweet, gone.
Fantastic. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that ad is not real. It is fake. I just wanted to play it because it's hilarious. They even had to have fact checkers on, I don't know where it came from, saying that this ad is not real. This is parody. This is misinformation. It's just hilarious. Calm down. I mean, it is pretty short. I could play it again. It's hilarious. And actually, if Sour Patch Kids made this ad, if they actually did do this ad, it would probably increase their sales. But yes, this ad is not real. It's a parody. Someone uploaded it. Some animator made it and put it on YouTube. But it's genuinely hilarious. I'm telling you, if Sour Patch Kids did embrace this, their candy would be flying off the shelves. All right, one more time.
First, they're sour. Then they're sweet.
They got the
sour, sweet.
They got the alien conspiracy in. I mean, it's just fantastic. That is Sour Patch Kids should hire this guy after that. But of course, there's all these people in the comments being like, "Oh my God, okay, well, how would you make it?" Because you can't even, if you accidentally even think about Nazi Germany in any way, it's just the worst thing you could ever do. All right, moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to the title story of the stream, the moment you've all been waiting for. Oh, God. From the Post-Millennial, trans-identified pastor compares the betrayal of Jesus to treatment of Nashville shooter. Oh, man. What is with all the comparisons to Jesus recently? I guess it really started with the George Floyd, when they started saying George Floyd was like a Jesus character. And now you've got that one of the guys who was kicked out of the Nashville House of Representatives. He was talking on the floor about himself as being like Jesus, though he said he was like Black Jesus, which is super different than regular Jesus. But anyway, why is it that these people that clearly do not care about the Bible or religion in general, they're just obsessed with taking it from the people who do? Absolutely obsessed with it. So this is a trans Lutheran pastor. On April 2nd, delivering an unusual sermon, I guess you could say, about the Nashville school shooter. Now, you would think if this person is pretending to be a Christian, because it's obviously an act. I mean, nothing about this is actually Christian in any way, shape, or form. But if you're pretending to be one, wouldn't you have to be upset that 6 Christians were murdered in a Christian school? But of course, they are not upset about this because they're not Christians. They are wolves in sheep's clothing, let's say. They are emissaries of the devil himself, come to infiltrate the church and tear it down from the inside, is my professional analysis and opinion. But here we go. The transgender Lutheran pastor comparing the shooter to Jesus Christ himself.
In their recording of Jesus' journey to the cross, the author makes a point of saying that the chief priests and the whole council were looking for false testimony against Jesus so that they might put him to death. Those leaders were looking for any excuse, valid or not, to crucify Jesus. And they found that reason. And that reason was solidified when the crowd shouted to release Barabbas. They had their final excuse. They would kill the one whose reputation as a teacher and healer and whose mission of love
they just
and
can't help but
was
look like
so
fat
very
pigs, can they?
to their own reputation.
Every time.
That they needed to kill him in order to preserve their good image. It's baffling to me that someone's existence can be so threatening that people decide they need to be controlled, that they need to have laws made against them, or even worse, that the people that they find to be so threatening should die. There are a significant number of people who have deemed that the fact that the Nashville shooter happened to be a trans person, so it's been reported, is just the excuse
So it's been reported?
To call for the eradication
This is a fact.
Of trans folks.
So there you go. Just so happens that this person was transgender, allegedly, so-called. But somehow this makes you a Christ-like figure. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. How it will never cease to amaze me how these people who clearly detest everything about Christianity and Christians have this overwhelming urge to take it from you and I, and try to bastardize it and somehow say that we're the true church. Yeah. Literal demons walking the face of the earth. Anyway, on a lighter note, which you know is not true. It never gets any better, does it? Last week, we checked in on cable television to see how it was going. And what we realized was that there's a lot of nudity in front of children and a lot of trying to get children to accept things that they're clearly uncomfortable with. And unfortunately, what I've learned this week is this is even more common than I thought. There's still, this is all brand new stuff. This isn't like they ran it once somewhere and then got a bunch of backlash and we're like, oh crap, take it down. They're making new shows about this. So this is, I guess, Channel 4 from, I guess, the UK says that being naked is not a bad thing at all. Normalizing all bodies, a groundbreaking new series, Naked Education. It starts Tuesday at 8 p.m. Stream free on all 4. What is this explosion of content showing adults stripping naked in front of children on basic cable? What is happening here? There is no justification for this at all. Because what they're doing is this is called naked education. This is exactly what happened with the so-called sex education in the United States. Was that initially it was very bare bones, didn't really it gives the kids just enough information at when they're hitting puberty, and it was supposed to be appropriate. People still think that's what it is, when in fact it's not, because Project Veritas had that clip where they showed that there was a high school teacher giving out butt plugs and dildos to his students and explaining to them how to spit on them and use them. That is not exactly educational. I could be wrong, and that could make me Adolf Hitler for saying so. I don't believe that's educational. But they're doing the same thing here with this, where what do you think the slippery slope is on this? You're already getting naked in front of children and filming it. When does this become a category on porn websites? I can't go any further down that road. I'll definitely get in trouble if I continue explaining what the slippery slope is for this. But here we go. Let me know. Do you think this is educational, and should we be doing more stuff like this in the United States? I gotta tell you, I personally don't think so. But I'm a radical.
As teenagers, you're always thinking, I'm so fat.
There have definitely been times that I've looked in the mirror and hated what I see.
This is a baby step to becoming more accepting of who you are.
Being naked is not a bad thing at all.
Zero, please.
Idiots!
I think it's time that we see what real male bodies look like.
Whoa, naked men.
Do you know what? Your happiness shouldn't be reliant on whether you have this perfect shape.
A groundbreaking new series, Naked Education, starts Tuesday at 8 on Channel 4. All episodes available after.
So, what can you even say about this? It is really truly bizarre, the split that has happened in the Western world. If you show this to somebody and they cannot immediately recognize that this is definitely not appropriate, how can you help that person? How can you, if you can't watch that and go, well, this is definitely wrong. We should not be doing this. If that's not readily apparent to you, I just don't know what to tell you. How can this be a thing? And of course, the people who defend this, like I said, it's always this stuff about it's educational, it's age appropriate, we're not making it sexual, you're making it sexual. Again, straight to jail. Straight to jail. We used to recognize people who said stuff like that as being predators. That it used to be a red flag. You used to watch shows like Law and Order SVU, and this is what they would explain to people was a red flag. If someone is trying to normalize this type of behavior around your child, you get your child away from that person as quickly as possible and you call the police. We used to know this, but apparently, time marches on. Progress comes for all. It will take you away and it will take your child. Because everyone knows nothing can just be left alone and just be what it's been. We always have to be marching forward. Ever forward. Straight to jail. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, man, I feel like I'm sounding like Tim Pool right now. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Yes, if you haven't liked the stream, do so now. Of course, super chats, support, activate the super chat jukebox. If you don't want to use that, you can always use the PayPal at Swamp Talks, which will also activate the super chat jukebox. And of course, the merch. As I said before, I think the merch is a better deal because you get something out of it. All right. Let's continue talking about the UK, this amazing bastion of progressivism. These people are brilliant. I can't even set this up for you because honestly, you wouldn't believe it if I explained it to you and didn't show you the proof. Watch this. And try not to laugh.
the British government has now decided to act. Now, as part of the plan, farmers in the UK will be forced to give livestock cattle feed suppressants, which contain additives such as seaweeds, essential oils, organic acids, probiotics, and antimicrobials to reduce the environmental impact of their digestive process. The strategy anticipates that methane suppressing products will be on the UK market by 2025 and proposes maximizing their use for dairy farms. Although it is estimated that this would increase the cost of milk by an average of 33 pence a year for consumers, though the charge could fall on taxpayers if ministers choose to subsidize the feed or by supermarkets in a form of greenhouse gas levy. However, while the move was welcomed by some, many campaigners have voiced skepticism, arguing that it does not address the agriculture industry's other faults and shows a fixation on techno fixes rather than reducing consumption. Essentially, with little evidence as to what extent methane blockers work, they are criticizing the government for relying on unproven technologies to pursue its climate ambitions. Currently, there are no methane suppressing additives licensed in the UK, though trials are being conducted and some applications have been submitted.
So so we all thought it was hilarious when AOC in her Green New Deal talked about cow farts and how this was a major, major concern for the climate. We all laughed. Little did we know she was right on the money. This is super serious. And of course, the critics of this, what are they criticizing? The fact that this is one of the dumbest things that humans have ever come up with since the dawn of time? Or is it that it doesn't go far enough, you guys? This isn't enough. Sure, we can help the cows not burp or fart, but that's just is that really we need more. It doesn't go far enough. What we need to do is get people to not want to eat meat and deal with all the other issues with farming. Oh. You know what? I am going to start eating an extra helping of beans every week so that if they think they're helping decrease methane emissions by doing this to cows, I'm going to start offsetting it myself. And I suggest that everyone else do the same. If you want to stick it to the libs, fart more. Oh. I told you wouldn't believe me if I told you what that was about to be. All right. Let's see. How long have we been? How much time we got left? Okay, I was gonna do a bit where I talked about this anti-gun comedian. I think I'll save that and make that a video this week, so it won't be on the live stream tonight. But we'll go over one more thing before we go. For some reason, Hollywood keeps making comic book movies, and for the life of me, I don't know why. Because they have been just god-awful for a very long time. And I know there's always going to be the Marvel bros. What, man? It's great. Yeah, no, it's not. But the thing that is interesting, and what makes this particular comic book movie noteworthy, is how all of these movies have started to do what almost all of Hollywood has been doing, which is basically just openly insulting the people who buy the product. And basically saying you're an idiot and that they don't like you. Which again, I don't understand why anyone continues to buy this. But what I'm talking about here is a movie called Blue Beetle, which, if you haven't heard of this, is an okay character. I don't mind him. It's okay. The movie looks like every other, comic book movie in that it's unremarkable in every way imaginable. I mean, that's what we've come to with all this stuff, is that we get it. You have special effects. We get it. I mean, we've seen this before a million times. We don't need another one of these. So yeah, look. Oh, wow. It's so great. Oh, the special effects are amazing. It's god awful. And I'm not playing the sound because these things always get copyright claimed and stuff. But yeah, wow. Look, this looks totally unlike any other comic book movie we've ever seen. I mean, wow. Amazing. Special effects. So cool. But what I'm actually talking about here is, for some reason, they felt the need to crap on one of the most popular characters in all of comics. Again, these are the people who buy your products. And they just are suddenly wanting to push them away because we're the lowly, we're the plebs. We're the maggots, down here in the filth. For some reason, here, let's play this. I should be able to play this without getting copyright claimed if I just play part of it. So here we go.
Whoa, it's like Batman stuff.
Batman's a fascist.
I just want to rap.
So there you go. It's like Batman stuff. Batman is a fascist. What? Batman is a fascist. Why even throw that in at the end of the trailer in like the last second? But why even say it at all? You know that everyone who sees that's going to be like, what in the hell are you talking about? Batman's awesome. The woke mind virus has just... it's ruined everything. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And for the record, Batman is not a fascist. He's actually quite a good man. Quite a good man. I know, it's a shock. But, I guess we're not allowed to like him anymore. At least that's what they're going to tell us. Batman's a rich white man. Therefore, he's a fascist. Doesn't even matter what fascist means. Doesn't matter what Bruce Wayne has done. Doesn't matter. Oh, man. All right, everybody. Happy Good Friday. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you liked the stream. After the stream's over, if you can leave a comment on it too, that would be very helpful. YouTube likes the comments. Yeah, have a good Easter weekend, and I'll see you guys next time.